The seasons and your cycles. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on the premenstrual phase of your cycle, which is referred to as the autumn, or inner fall time of your cycle. So just like with the natural cycle of Earth, autumn is a time where we begin to shed that outer layer, getting ready for the winter phase, which is on more of our alone time and inwards time. And this is that part of that which is getting us ready for our menstruation. So this is a time to really reflect, to slow down, to honor yourself and honor your soul. It's often a time in the cycle that a lot of us struggle with, or we really dread, or we don't look forward to, which is completely understandable with everything that we go through. And I myself personally really suffer and struggle with this particular phase. So that's why I want to share quite a bit of information with this part of the cycle to kind of help as many of you as possible, and so you don't feel so alone. So premenstruation, it's the autumn phase, and it's part of the cycle that, so many of us, as I just said, we dread it and we don't look forward to it. So from roughly around day 21, maybe to 23, through to when you begin to bleed, you begin to get a reduction of your hormones. So the estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone, they genuinely do start to decrease. So don't just think you're having these symptoms and you're crazy, or like it's just you. There is a scientific reason behind it, okay? And with those reductions, it can cause, for a lot of people, anxiety, depression. There's also that lack of serotonin, which is the hormone that helps with your moods. So, it's not like a coincidence. I know for myself, roughly just kind of after the 2 week, well, I'd say around day 11 to 12 before I'm due on, that's when I really start to feel these symptoms kick in. And sometimes I think, oh my God, is it me? Am I flawed? Like, what's wrong with me? And it's really hard sometimes to describe it to people around you, because you can't always put your finger on why am I feeling this. But it is, as I said, there is a hormonal reason for that. And when we have that lack of serotonin as well, which is the hormone that helps with your moods and regulating them, that's why we can get irritated more easily. We can feel more stressed, lethargic, tired, exhausted, snappy. I know myself, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I feel exhausted. And one connection I have also made is, though, that in the summer months, I tend to feel that I don't suffer as much with my period or the premenstrual part. And I've put that down to, we have a lot more sunlight in the summer and our vitamin D levels are higher. So it's actually easier to, to go with, but everybody's different. And obviously it depends where in the world you are as well. You may also at this point be feeling much more emotional and crying more often. I mean, I know I certainly do. And that is impacted again by decreasing progesterone hormone levels. So, don't feel bad for when we're letting out these tears and this emotion. It's natural. And I think a lot of us come across problems when we put pressure on ourselves to feel a certain way, or we have to act a certain way, or, seem to have emotions makes us weak or more vulnerable. It doesn't. It's a natural thing that we go through. You might also experience more bloating, increased hunger, sore breasts, breakouts on your skin, mood swings. You could be feeling very up and down. You might start to get cramps in your lower stomach, or pain in your back, or pain just generally in your body. And I think a lot of us women can admit this one as well, that we start to have a lot more insecurities come up and feelings that we're not good enough. That's a really common thing during that phase. Now, this is the more feminine energy of our cycle, and it requires us to be and have more inwards energy. So the previous 2 weeks of our cycle, we would have had more energy and have been doing more. Whereas this part of our cycle, we should take things more easily and listen to the inner call of our body. If we go against this and we try to keep busy and keep achieving and not allow ourselves rest or the stillness, we will often experience worse side effects, such as more frustration, anxiety, confusion, and depression. And it can often feel like an inner battle in our mind. like we feel we need to be doing, but then at the same time our inner core might be saying, hold on, you need to slow down and you just need to rest. And often I feel like in the modern world, it's when we want to be slow and just rest and have that inward time, that's almost seen as bad, because we feel this pressure of society that we should always be doing and always achieving. And during this phase of our cycle, that's not actually the case. Also, it's worth remembering hormonally, the changes won't allow for you to keep going at the pace of the previous 2 weeks. So if we fight against our bodies in this phase, we will feel worse. Spiritually as well, use this time to tune into your intuition, as I call it, your inner tutor, to listen to your soul. Allow your emotions to flow. And yes, that the modern world, it does try to suppress and does not support the natural flow and cycle of our true feminine nature. When we struggle with the feelings of not being good enough, it's even harder. And the roller coaster of emotions and hormones can lead us to feeling like we're losing the plot. When we disconnect from our natural cycles and go against our inner knowing, we struggle more. Connecting back to nature is so important. And that's something I really emphasize and make important on my channel, because it is all about supporting a natural way of life and living. Make time to reflect inwards. Spend time out in nature. No matter what the weather is, just dress appropriately and embrace it. Especially by trees, they are really healing and grounding. Make time to ground yourself and connect to Mother Earth daily. This will help stabilize your energy and emotions. So I will personally plan my day around nature. So where I know there's going to be daylight or time I could go outside, I will plan my day around that. Obviously, it's different for everybody because it depends on your commitments in life, your home life, your family life. But the most important thing for you to do is listen to your body. Like, what nutrients does it need during this time? What emotions are coming to the surface to be dealt with and addressed? And have you been too busy people pleasing the rest of the month? Now, this is then going to be that time for you to stop and redirect your energy. Use this part of your cycle to build a better, stronger, and more loving relationship with yourself. Your spiritual gifts during this time really are heightened, and you are able to trust your intuition. So allow it to guide you in life and during decision making. Because this is that time of the month where you're basically going to be a bit of you'll just call things out, you'll say it as it is, and you'll be so much more truthful, because that kind of filter the rest of the month will have been removed. So trust that intuition that you get and allow it to guide you. You will be more in touch with your emotions and more able to use that inner feeling and intuition to detect the truth in situations, and allow that then to help you within your daily life. Your dreams, like myself, may be a lot more vivid, and especially as well when you do come onto your period too. So if you're like me and you receive a lot of guidance during that phase, when you're dreaming, keep notes of those, because you'll also find that information really helpful. And your psychic gifts will be heightened, so pay attention to information that comes through. You may even want to look at during that time, even working on your psychic development if you're not so confident with those gifts. But just trust in yourself, and trust as long as you're working for your highest good, call in your spirit team to help you with that. And during that time as well, you can also journal daily to help have a healthy outlet for your thoughts and emotions. I do that regularly, especially I find when I do it when I'm feeling worse, because sometimes we can't always express to others how we're feeling. And that can really help then to just get those feelings and emotions out without having to burden them onto others sometimes. And you may want to make time to meditate, connect with your angels, your guides, your ancestors for your highest good, and allow them to send you messages and signs to help guide you in your life. Now, I usually will start my day with a hot herbal drink. I'll sit looking outside, or I'll go out into the earth and ground myself. I'll pull myself like an oracle card daily to help keep me connected, focused, and guided. And it can really help with your insight and your wisdom, and it just gives you that extra kind of guidance and purpose. And it's good to kind of start your morning with a routine that's quite inwards, and that can also allow, intuition and things to come through at that point for you. Another bit of really good, strong advice I can give to you is just rest and nap. So if you feel tired, allow your body to rest, because it'll help you more easily receive your guidance. When you keep fighting against that, you're going to feel worse. You're going to feel more snappy, more irritable. You're probably going to have arguments or be more stressed out with your loved ones and those that are around you. So explain to them kindly, what you're going through and what you need during that time of your cycle. Use your creativity as well, because that's going to be heightened. Slow down during the phase and don't be hard on yourself and feel like you have to be doing because you don't. The premenstrual phase can feel like the feedback moment in your cycle. You're being shown exactly what needs to change, what needs your attention, and what isn't working in your life. You can receive feedback on your overall health, how well you're caring for yourself, your relationships, your stress levels, and your spiritual life. So stay present and receive the feedback with as much compassion and kindness to yourself. Your energy is at its lowest point, and you may feel exhausted, insecure, and fed up, but it's your task now to practice self-care and give yourself permission to step away from the mundane life. The more you welcome this phase and let yourself flow with it, the more grounded and in control you will feel. Thank you so much for listening, and please feel free to share your experiences in the comments with this phase. I look forward to hearing from you all, and thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I appreciate you all. I hope you found this helpful.